Hi, everybody. So today's installation of the Sergeant at Arms is about the Syrian Civil War and the war in Syria. And so their civil war has been going on since 2011. Their president is Bashar al-Assad, and he recently ordered a chemical weapons attack on his citizenry. And 1,400 people have died as a result of this chemical warfare. The difficulty is, the international community has shunned chemical warfare, and with good reason. In 2011, when this started, President Obama, under much pressure, decided, no, we're not getting involved with Syria and their civil war. We just finished dealing with Libya, because that was right after the Libyan conflict. We just got out of Afghanistan, Iran. We're just finishing with all of that. What we don't need is another war to fight. And I appreciated that, because we don't need to be in a state of perpetual war. But now, President Trump launched an attack against Syria, and he was effective. He bombed what needed to be bombed. There were no casualties of life, and that part is good. He just kind of took out the reserves that they had available to them that didn't jive with the international community. Great, good. But he's being criticized now for not being America first. Okay. A week prior, he had actually said, we're staying out of Syria. We got to take care of America first. We're not getting involved with that. Bashar al-Assad can do whatever he wants. And clearly he did do whatever he wanted. Then President Trump said, you know what? Now we have to get involved because innocent children were killed. And the truth is, what can you do against a chemical weapon? What can you do against a chemical bomb? You can't do anything about that unless you walk around wearing a gas mask all day, every day. There's nothing you can do to defend against that. And for it to be innocent men, women, and children, particularly children, that's just a heinous crime of the highest order. And so I don't blame President Trump for getting involved and saying we've got to take action. The difficulty that I have, and I've had this for years, is we're always the ones who are expected to save the day. And whenever there's a country that's in turmoil, the international community turns to the United States and says, well, you need to go and save them. How come nobody else is doing that? I get that we are the superpower, but at what point do we stop defending everybody else's constitutions for them? And at what point do we say to ourselves, you know what, we are risking our sons and daughters' lives by sending them in harm's way, sending them into war, and they may not come back. And we're doing this for, a society who can't defend themselves. I get helping people. I get being in a position where we're training their troops to defend themselves. But at some point, we do have to say to ourselves, enough is enough, and we can't save the world. And I think that's what President Trump said at one point, which is, I can't save the world. I'm not the president of the world. I'm the president of the United States of America. So for that, I applaud him. But now we're in a position where we've gotten involved in this serious civil war. And what's next? Is the expectation now that we're in it and we're going to defend them and we're going to be at war with Bashar al-Assad? I don't know. I hope not. But, to do something that heinous, you have to get involved. And my hope is other countries around the world decide, you know what, we're going to back you up and we're going to be there and get involved as well. I just keep thinking about the British government. Now, for centuries, the British government has been invading territories, and they've been taking land and pillaging villages and doing, they've gone out there and just taken what they want so that they can be the supreme power. Now, they're like, well, the United States will take care of it, and they're not. Why can't the UK say, you know what, we're going to go and we're going to defend that constitution for that country. Let us be the ones to actually get in there and defend it. What's going on with that? So I don't know. I mean, I think it really is the United States is expected to defend other countries who can't defend themselves, and then the other sort of superpowers like France and Germany and the UK back us up. I don't think that that's equitable, but I'm not in charge of the international community. So I say that to say this is something that we need to be tweeting about, and this is something that we need to be making sure that President Trump knows is a concern. Nobody wants to be at war all the time. And no person, whether they voted for Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, wants their child to go to war and not be sure whether their child's going to come back. It is an honorable profession, and we applaud the service that our military does on our behalf, but there has to be a limit to it. So let's tweet about that. SGTATARMSUSA. Speaker Ryan needs to hear about this. President Trump needs to hear about this. The Democrats, the Republicans. These are the things that I hope we put in front of him, and we stop worrying about things like his tax returns. We don't need to worry about that anymore. We need to worry about the potential of war, which could be facing us again. So with that, I will close this installation of the Sergeant at Arms. Please leave me comments below. But this is a topic that we need to be paying attention to. We will see you next time.